Okay. Welcome to the 45-minute yoga class. There won't be any equipment needed for today's class. You'll just need yourself, and if you happen to have a yoga mat, that's great. You don't even need shoes to do the class. Barefoot will work well. Just make sure that you take a quick look around you before you get started. Make sure you don't have anything that you can trip over or bump into. Just make sure any hazards are out of the way. And then during class, always remember to go at your own pace, take breaks as needed. If at any point you experience any type of pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, you know your body best, just stop exercising at any time. The focus on today's class will be a little bit of a spine reset, hopefully working into opening up the hips. We'll work a little bit slower for Tuesday classes. The length of the class will be about 45 minutes long. So we'll slowly get started. I'm going to make my way onto my mat, and you can make your way onto the floor or your mat. We'll start in a laying down position. Oh, hello. You joined just in time. So we're just about to get started. We're just going to make our way into a laying down position. I'm going to make my way to my mat. In your laying down position, you can have the legs nice and long against the floor or your mat, or if there's any sensitivities in the hamstrings and the back of the thighs, you can allow the knees to remain bent, soles of the feet rooted. So in the laying down position, you can have the arms to either side of the body. Allow the eyes to soften and maybe even close here. And just begin to tune in to the parts of the body that are resting against your mat or the earth beneath you. Notice where the shoulder blades are. Notice the back of the neck. Can you allow the shoulder blades to soften and just feel a sense of openness across the front of the chest? Notice the curves of your spine. Maybe you notice towards the low back where the spine doesn't rest onto your mat. Notice the hips, the legs, all the way to the tips of your toes. And then from here, just begin to notice your breath. The natural inhale and exhale through the nose. Take a couple full cycles of breath here, filling the lungs to their maximum capacity, breathing in through the nose, and then exhaling all the air out through the nose. Almost as if you can't breathe out anymore, and then you just take out that extra exhale. 2 more rounds of breath here, filling the lungs, and then noticing how they fall back to the center or midline of the body. 1 more breath here. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring the legs nice and long if they're not already there. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, lift the arms overhead, fingertips reach towards the back wall behind you. Take a nice big stretch. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw both knees in towards the body and then perhaps interlace the fingertips just below the kneecaps on the shins. Rock the low back from side to side, rock forward and back, creating momentum. If there's any sensitivities or injuries on the low back, you can just roll over to one side and press yourself up. Or if not, just rock forward and back until you make your way to seated. In your seated position, we're just going to find a nice comfortable seat. So maybe perhaps removing the fleshier parts away from the glutes, sitting onto the bonier edges or the sits bones. Just going to bring some movement into the spine here. So we're going to inhale, lift both arms up, fingertips reach to the sky. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, allow the torso to come forward. Palms rest forward out in front of you. Fingertips spread nice and wide. So from here, really root down through the corner edges of the hips. Really press down through the 10 fingertips and then almost imagine as if you're drawing the earth closer towards you so that you
feel the shoulder blades retract back. Allow the back of the neck here to be nice and long. Draw the belly in, take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly walk your hands over to the right side. So you're going to stretch out that left side body. Coming onto the right side of the torso, moving towards the right thigh. Lengthen here, press with the fingertips, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, walk the hands through center and then over to the left side. So as you walk the torso over to the left thigh, stretching out the right side body. So lengthen out through the arms here. Notice if one corner edge of the hip likes to lift up, can you root it down on your next breath? And then as you exhale, walk the hands through center. You're going to take a deep inhale, lift the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the hands behind you. You can press the palms down. So find what feels most comfortable for you. Maybe the fingertips face towards the glutes. Maybe the fingertips face out towards your mat, sort of wall behind you. You're just going to find a nice, comfortable position for the palms. And then press down through the hands and then shine the heart up towards the sky. Maybe your gaze looks up here. Take a full inhale. Feel the openness across the front of the chest. And then as you exhale, allow the spine to come back to neutral, hands on the knees. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So in a tabletop, the hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, knees are going to be underneath the hips. And then from here, the tops of the feet can be curled or the tops of the feet can be flat on your mat, whatever feels better for you. We're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow here, just bringing movement to the spine still. So from here, breathing down through the palms, you're going to take a deep inhale, draw the belly down towards the earth, curl the tailbone up towards the sky, and then you look forward, maybe slightly up. So you're in a cow pose here. Press through the palms. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, tuck the chin into the chest. Begin to slow down the movement, curling the spine like a rainbow up towards the sky. And then the pelvis draws forward slightly. So the tailbone is no longer curling up towards the sky, it's slightly drawing towards the back wall behind you. So press down through the hands here. Really feel the stretch in between the shoulder blades. Draw the belly in, take a deep inhale. And then as if you were uncurling one at a time, begin to uncurl from the low back and the tailbone. Slowly the belly draws down. And then slowly up, chin uncurls and you look forward and slightly up. Beautiful. We're going to continue to do that 2 more rounds at your own pace of breath. Maybe syncing the breath with the movement. So taking a deep inhale as you begin to curl the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Holding as you arc the spine like a Halloween cat. And then at your own pace, uncurl, unwind. Always breathing in and out through the nose. 1 more round at your own pace. We're just moving the spine really slowly, articulating each and every vertebrae. And then when you're done, we'll meet a neutral tape. And then lift through the knees and find downward facing dog. Bring the feet a nice distance apart here. Pedal out through the feet. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. And then at the beginning, if the muscles are still quite cold or not warmed up yet, bringing the feet further apart might feel slightly better. Pressing the 10 fingertips here. Allow the neck to be nice and long. 2 more breaths, just warming up the legs by pedaling out the feet. 1 more breath. As you exhale, you're going to look forward in between the palms and then walk both feet forward. Come into a forward fold. So allow the head to hang heavy here. Maybe the fingertips get to rest onto the mat or the earth beneath you. Bend the knees as much as you need to here in your forward fold. We're just going to hang here like a rag doll. So loosening up the low back, head hangs heavy. And then you can grab onto opposite elbows here, rock from side to side. And very slowly and gently on your next inhale, you're going to begin to uncurl the spine slowly one at a time, making your way to standing, head coming up last. Arms to either side of the body, coming to equal standing posture, Samastitihi. From here, we're going to do a few more forward folds. Just going to hang loosely so that you can stretch out the muscles on the low back. Inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, you're just going to hinge from the hips, fold over the thighs, head hangs heavy. And from here, just play around with the hand movement. So see, by keeping your head nice and heavy, neck nice and long, see where you can position the fingertips. So maybe the fingertips of the hands come in line with the toes. Maybe you can walk them out a bit more and feel the stretch along the side body, up to the shoulder blades. Just hang heavy here like a rag doll for one more breath. And then on your next inhale, you can choose to clasp onto opposite elbows or keep the arms nice and long, but slowly make your way to standing, head coming up last. One more slow forward fold, just to loosen up the spine. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold, head hangs heavy. And then here, you're coming into this posture for the third time. So coming into that sense of ease a little bit more quickly, and then finding the stillness that works for you to hold the posture. Take a full cycle of breath here. On your next inhale, inhale all the way up to standing. Arms to either side. Let's come into a little bit more of a flow now. So we're going to inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward, head hangs heavy. Inhale, belly rises halfway up, hands to the shins, crown of the head reaching forward. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, walk both feet back. From here in your plank position, just going to bring the knees down. Inhale in your tabletop. Exhale, belly, chest, and chin come to the earth. From here, hands underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet rooted. You're going to press through the hands. Inhale, shine the heart forward through baby cobra. Exhale down. We're going to bring the arms out. You're going to bring the fingertips to press onto the floor like you're pitching a tent with the hands, pressing through the fingertips. Inhale, lift through the top of the chest. So from here, press to the tops of the feet so the kneecaps are lifted and nice and engaged. And you're really feeling the openness across the front of the chest. Inhale deeply here. Exhale down. We're going to do one more. Inhale, press to the fingertips, shine the heart forward. Maybe you hold here, keeping the fingertips rooted on the floor. Or for an extra challenge, you're going to lift the left foot and then catch the left foot with the left hand. So from here, you're bringing into a stretch through the front of the chest as well as the front quad and the hip. Hold here. If this is too much for you, you can just continue to work on opening the front of the chest, both legs down. One more breath here in whichever option you chose. And then as you exhale, slowly come down. Release the spine, forehead comes down. Take a cycle of breath here. On your next inhale, you're going to inhale, press through the fingertips, lift through the front of the chest again. Option to stay here, or if not this time, right foot floats up, catching the right foot with the right hand. So you can catch the outside of the right foot so that it's comfortable for the shoulder. Shining the heart forward, finding the quad stretch and the front of the chest opening. One more breath here. And then slowly release in whichever option you chose, forehead to the earth. Hands underneath the shoulders for one more baby cobra. Inhale up. And then exhale, either press yourself up or rock yourself through table, find downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, take 2 breaths, breathing in and out through the nose. One more breath. On your next inhale, right foot is going to come forward in between the palms, And you're going to descend the left knee. So you're going to come into a low lunge. From here, you're going to inhale, bring the arms up, torso lifts, maybe the palms touch aiming towards the sky. And then as you exhale, hands are going to come to the hips. So we're in a low lunge here. We're going to bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot. And if it's comfortable, you can allow the entire palm to rest down, or if not, you're just pitching a tent with the fingertips, so the fingertips are rooted and the palm is lifted. Find the comfortability that works for your palm here. And then from here, if you want a little bit more space for the torso, you can even bring the right foot out a little bit. We're going to come into a twist. So by pressing the left palm down, lengthen through the spine, draw the belly in. And then as you exhale, gently twist over to your right side. So the right arm reaches up towards the sky, fingertips stretching up. If you want a little bit more of a shoulder opening here as you twist, maybe the palm comes and wraps around the low back. So right palm resting on the low back, opening up through that shoulder, right shoulder reaching to the sky. So you're pressing down through that left palm. So you're still feeling this charge through the left side body up towards the sky, or opening up the shoulder by bringing the palm to the low back. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. As you exhale, look down towards your mat. Bring both palms down and then step the right foot back. So you're going to come into table. From here, you're going to inhale deeply. Exhale, lower belly, chest, and chin to the earth. Inhale through baby cobra, tops of the feet rooted, palms rooted, heart shining forward. Exhale down. We're going to inhale, bring the arms out. We're going to shine the heart forward. So opening up the chest here. Exhale down. Hands underneath the shoulders, either press yourself up or rock through table and find downward facing dog. Beautiful. And downward facing dog, 2 breaths here. We're going to be coming into that low lunge again, but onto the left side. So 1 more breath in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, the left foot this time is going to come forward in between the palms, descending that right knee. So in a low lunge here. So inhale, hands to the hips, and find the comfortability that works best for you. So maybe from here, you're moving that left foot out closer to the outer edge of your mat so that you're creating more room for the torso to come down when you twist. But it also opens up the hips more a bit. So find that positioning for the foot. And then when you're ready, right hand this time will come to the inside of the left foot. And when you're ready, pressing through that right palm, left hand reaches up to the sky. Belly drawn in as you twist and that left shoulder reaches up. Again, if you want to open up the shoulder a bit more, you have the option of bringing the left hand this time to the low back. Your choice. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And then slowly look down. Bring the palms down to frame that left foot. Step the left foot back into table. Full inhale here in table. Exhale, belly, chest, and chin to the earth. Inhale through baby cobra. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, take 2 breaths. I'm going to take a quick look at the camera here while we're all in downward facing dog. 1 more breath. As you exhale, you're going to look forward in between the palms and slowly walk or jump both feet forward. Come into that forward fold, head hangs heavy. Inhale, belly rises halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing arms, come up. Exhale, hands to either side. Awesome. So we're working on a little bit of spine mobility there. We're going to continue to do that, but we're going to start incorporating a little bit of the hips. We're going to inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge forward, palms come down, head hangs heavy. Inhale, belly rises halfway up. Exhale, fold, plant the palm, walk both feet back into plank. Descend your way either through table or chaturanga. Finding downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, take a full cycle of breath. On your next inhale, right leg is going to reach up towards the sky, point the toes. Really feel the charge to the front of that right thigh. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, float that right foot forward in between both palms. High lunge here. So you're on the ball of the left foot. You're going to inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale back like you're into runner's lunge. Arms reach back, fingertips reach back. And you kind of draw the torso forward. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, arms into cactus. So you're still on the ball of the foot on the back leg here. Arms are in cactus, belly drawn in, full inhale. As you exhale, you're going to begin to twist the torso over to the right side. So the shoulders twist, torso twists. Arms to either side. So you're in a reverse lunge here. Inhale deeply here. As you exhale, bring both arms back up. Inhale deeply here. Exhale. Slowly bring the palms to frame that right foot again. So you're just bringing the palms down for balance. You're going to bring that back foot a little bit closer. Allow the entire back left foot to root down. So the heel is rooted and the foot's a bit closer. So from here, you're going to inhale, arms come up, warrior one. Maybe you want to find more depth through that right thigh. So from here, from a nice stable position, you can choose to bring that left leg further back. Inhale deeply here. Exhale. When you're ready, you can slowly bring the hands to the hips. Release that right thigh. So lengthen through that right thigh. Find a sense of buoyancy through the heart center. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, hinge over that right thigh, almost as if the forehead and knee were to touch. From here, if you want an extra balance or an option for more balance, you bring the hands to either side of the body. Head hangs heavy. Forehead and knee touch. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Slowly bending that right knee, frame the palms onto the earth or the mat beneath you. Step the right foot back into plank and cycle through your flow. So you can come down through table or chaturanga, meeting in downward facing dog. And downward facing dog, you're going to take 2 full breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, this time left leg is going to reach up towards the sky, point the toes. Feel the charge through that left thigh again. Take a full inhale. And as you exhale, actively float that left foot in between both palms. High lunge here on the ball of the right foot this time, or the back leg. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, reach the fingertips back like you're ready to run or set for a lunge here. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, arms come into cactus again. And this time we'll twist over to the left side. So draw the belly in, full inhale. And then exhale, twist over. As you twist over to the left, maybe you lengthen through the arms. Full inhale, full exhale. When you're ready, so slowly come through center and then bring the palms down for balance. And then bring that right foot closer, root that right foot down. We're going to come into warrior one again, so slightly bend through that left knee. Inhale, arms come up. So from here, if you like, you can now bring that right foot back a bit more. Lined up through that left thigh. 1 more breath. When you're ready, hands to the hips. Release that left thigh. And then for a little bit more of an opening through the front of the chest, you can interlace the fingertips behind the back body as you hinge over that left thigh. Maybe over time, forehead and knee touch. Maybe over time, you lift the fist up towards the sky. One more breath here. As you exhale, slowly look down towards the left foot. Frame the hands around the left foot, step the left foot back into plank. Descend your way. Meeting in downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, we're going to take 2 breaths again, breathing in and out through the nose. One more breath. Exhale, look forward in between the palms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing arms, come up. Exhale, hands to either side. Awesome. So we're going to come into a warrior 2 stance. And from warrior 2, we're going to practice half moon. So you're at home in the comfort of your own space. No one's watching. Just make sure that you have nothing that you can trip or fall over and hurt yourself. Go at your own pace, but we're going to kind of play around with it a little bit. It's going to help us with balancing, strengthening the thighs, and opening up the hips too. So we're going to start off with stepping back with our left foot. And we're going to pivot onto the left toes so that that outer edge of the left foot is in line with the back edge of your mat or the wall behind you. Find a nice comfortable distance between both legs. So it can be heel to heel alignment or heel to arch alignment, whichever feels best for you. So kind of play around with that. And then from here, you're going to find depth in that right thigh. So the back leg is nice and rooted. Outer edge of the foot is rooted. Right thigh is nice and engaged, aiming towards to be in a 90-degree angle. From here, draw the belly in, lengthen through the arms. So arms reaching to either side of the room. Finding a steady gaze here. So looking past the fingertips. So you'll notice that that left corner of the hip is kind of in a 45-degree angle, whereas the right corner of the hip is kind of in line with the right knee, kind of aiming straight ahead. So from here, in a half moon pose, your focus is going to keep on engaging or finding strength through the right thigh, and then lifting up through the left side body. So in this wide stance, it can be a little bit challenging. So you can bring the foot a little bit closer. So bring the back foot a bit closer. And then from here, you're aiming so that you're going to hinge over that right thigh. So from here, you're going to windmill the arms around, frame that right foot. And then from here, pressing more weight into that right foot, slowly begin to lift up off of that left foot behind you. So that left foot is going to be nice and flexed, so it's engaged. From here, you can bend the right knee if you need to for stability. Then over time, lengthen through that right leg. Over time, the torso will drape over the right thigh. And the head will come closer to the hip. You're going to go back into warrior 2. So slowly bring that left foot back behind you, root that left heel down, windmill the arms, open up back to warrior 2. Full inhale and exhale here. When you're ready, windmill the arms around. Frame that right foot, step that right foot back into plank. We're going to descend to the knees and find child's pose. So hips towards the heels, forehead on the mat. Take 2 long, deep breaths here. When you're ready, slowly come through table. Curl the back of the toes and find downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, take a full cycle of breath. And then as you exhale, look forward in between the palms, walk or jump, both feet forward, come into a forward fold. Inhale, belly rises halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing arms, come up. Exhale, hands to either side. Awesome. Very slow and moderate. So we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. And take a big step back with the right foot this time. Pivot onto the right toes so that the outer edge of the right foot is in line with the wall behind you or your mat. Find a position or a stance that works best for you. So opening up the hips by walking the foot out to the outer edge or closer to the midline. Find depth through that left thigh. So either heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Open up through the arms. Arms to either side of the room. Lengthen all the way to the fingertips and find a steady gaze. So again, notice the corner edges of the hips here. So this time, that left corner of the hip is kind of in line with the left thigh, left knee. So aiming forward, directly ahead. And then that right corner of the hip is kind of in like a 45-degree angle. So you're still opening up through that right hip. Really root down through that outer edge of the back foot so that you feel the entire right thigh engaged here. That front thigh might be a little hot right now. We're going to release that in just a moment. So from here, release the left thigh. And then from here, you're going to windmill the arms around, framing that left foot. So we're going to come into half moon on the right side. So begin to position more weight into that left leg. Begin to float that right foot back behind you. Flex the right foot so it's nice and engaged here. Find a nice, comfortable balance with the palms and the left foot. And then over time, forehead will aim towards the shin. One more breath. As slow as you went into it, you're going to come out. Slowly, right foot floats back down behind you. And you windmill and open up back into warrior two. Full cycle of breath here. At your own pace, so windmill the arms around. Frame the left foot coming through your flow. And then meeting in child's pose. Pushing the hips back towards the heels, knees nice and wide, forehead resting on the mat. Two more breaths here. Really notice how the back ribs move now as the breath begins to slow down, perhaps. Really allow yourself to soften on your next exhale. Slowly, when you're ready, rock yourself back through table. And then in your tabletop position, we're going to come into pigeon pose from here. So we're going to extend that left leg back. So kind of like you're coming into a plank position. You're pressing on the balls of the left foot. And then from here, that right knee is going to come towards the right wrist. You're going to slowly float that right knee, bring it over to the right wrist. And then from here, your choice, the right heel may be aiming towards your groin, or you may have the shin slightly more open where the toes are closer to the left wrist. And then depending on the comfortability with the back leg will be nice and long, or the knee will be slightly bent. Just find a position that works best for you. The back foot may be resting on the top of the foot, or the toes may be and stay here if you go for arms, maybe hands on top of each other. Forehead resting on top of the hands. The corner edges of the hips are kind of both in line with each other, aiming towards the mat or the earth beneath you. One more breath here. Slowly and gently. If the forehead was resting, begin to peel yourself off, pressing the palms into the earth, curling the back of the toes of the left foot if they're not already curled. Stepping the right foot back so that you're in plank for a brief moment. And then from here, left knee to left wrist. Right leg nice and long behind you. Settling into pigeon on the left side. So maybe you have more depth and more range of motion on this side. Maybe you have less. That's completely okay. Just adjust as needed. For a couple more breaths. One more breath here. And then slowly, if the forehead was resting on a hand, begin to lift and peel yourself off, pressing the hand into the mat, stepping the left foot back into plank, and then finding downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal up the feet here. Maybe there's a little bit of tingly sensations in the legs and the knees, so just pedal that out for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly make your way back into table. And then resting on one side of the hips, bringing your legs forward. We made our way safely onto the floor. So we're going to just do a couple more hip opening exercises, and then we'll end in Shavasana or final resting pose. Or you can choose to meditate before we end class. So we'll get to that. So slowly, we're going to come into a supine butterfly pose or laying down butterfly position. And the way that will work is we're going to bring the soles of the feet to touch. And the knees are going to open to either side of the room. So this may be slightly intense for some of us on the corner edges of the hips. So you can use the palms to support the thighs. So that'll determine how much the thighs open or not. But we're going to slowly make our way down. So we're going to bring our spine and our back body onto the mat or the earth. We're going to bring these soles of the feet to touch. And the depth of this posture kind of really depends on how close the heels come to the glutes. So the closer the heels are to the glutes, the more intense you'll feel the stretch in the hips. So play around with that. So bring the heels further away, it'll lessen the sensation. Bring the heels closer together, it'll intensify it. So find a balance there for yourself. And then again, the palms can always be used to support the outer thighs. Once you've found a comfortable position and find stillness, take a couple breaths there, breathing in and out through the nose. You can bring the hands to the corner edges of the hips, just as a kind reminder to allow them to soften. Or the same way that where you have the legs, we can also bring the arms in the same position. So we can bring the fingertips to interlace behind the back of the head. Elbows open up to either side of the room. And I really like this posture here because you really feel the full expansion along the torso. So you can really maximize your inhales and exhales here. Really feeling the full expansion of the lungs and the rib cage as you breathe in and out. So take a couple breaths here. Feel the shoulder blades, the hips. One more breath. And then slowly and gently, you're going to bring the knees together to touch. Soles of the feet slowly come down to root onto your mat. Take a moment there, just settle into the sensation of the hips. And then you're going to bring the outside of the right ankle to rest onto the left thigh. The arms can come out to either side of the body for balance, or they can come into a T-shaped position so you can open up through the front of the chest, your choice. So from here, we're gonna do thread the needle. So the legs right now are kind of in the shape of a figure 4. You can choose to keep the legs there, or for more of a challenge, you can lift the left foot and then interlace the fingertips behind the left thigh or over the left shin. Play around with that. Really just keep a reminder to keep the shoulder blades rooted, which is why sometimes I just like to keep my arms out to either side of the body with the palms pressing down. So that way the shoulders are rooted and I'm still working on my hip. Find a moment of stillness here and take a full cycle of breath. And then slowly and gently bring the left foot down, keeping the right foot where it is. Slowly bring that right foot to cross over to the left side. So that right foot is going to come down and rest onto the left side. So you're bringing the spine here into a gentle twist. You can keep the arms out here in a T-shaped position for balance, or in cactus arms. And then to incorporate the neck into the stretch, you can look over to the right. So in the opposite direction, the legs are in. Take a full cycle of breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly come to center, and then we'll switch sides. So the right foot comes down, outside of the left ankle onto the right thigh. Again, stay here if you wish. Or for more depth, lift the right foot up. Interlace the fingertips behind the right hamstring if you'd like. Or arms on either side of the body for balance. Find stillness here for one more breath. And then slowly, right foot comes down, left foot goes over to the right side, coming into that twist. Looking over to the left, and arms can either be in a T-shaped or cactus arms. Noticing the subtle twist here for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. At your own pace, slowly come through center. Bring both legs down. Coming into Shavasana, so final resting posture. Bringing the legs nice and long against the mat or the earth beneath you. Arms to either side. And then maybe the eyes softening and closing. So just notice your breath here. Allow your breath to soften any sensations that might still be lingering in the body. Finding softness with every exhale. Almost as if the muscles are beginning to melt off of the bones. Shoulders and hips soften. Feeling more relaxed on your next breath. You are more than welcome to stay here in this luxurious resting position, just allowing your breath to repair and heal your body in your conscious stillness. Or if you'd like to join a quick meditation before we go off into our day, you're also more than welcome to join in or stay as you are. If you're joining into the meditation, just go over to one side, press yourself up, and keep your eyes soft here, still closed. Nothing too engaging is happening for me to see just yet. So you're just finding a steady position, either laying down or seated. If you're joining in on the seated position, just begin to sense as if the hips are plugging into the earth and the spine was finding a sense of elongation from top to bottom. Palms can rest onto the knees, facing up or down. And just notice your breath. So notice a natural inhale and exhale through the nose. Notice how it moves through your abdomen as the ribs expand, lungs expand. Notice how everything falls back to the midline with every exhale. Allow yourself to consciously focus on your breath. It's interesting to see where our mind likes to take us to. Like a monkey on a branch, going from one branch to the other. Choosing to control that monkey mind with your breath. We'll all exhale here together, and we'll inhale together from a count of 1 through 4. So we'll exhale here to prepare. Inhale through the nose deeply for a count of 2, 3, 4. Exhale deeply through the nose for 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. Inhale deeply up to a count of 4 for 2, 3, 4. Exhale deeply through the nose, counting down from 3, 2, 1. Final round. Inhale deeply, filling the lungs to their maximum capacity for 2, 3, 4. Exhale deeply for 3, 2, 1. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Just notice what happened when you were consciously focusing on your breath. You can use that at any point throughout the day, on or off your mat. Thank you so much for joining me. It's every Tuesdays at 3:30 and every Fridays at 11 for 45 minutes. Feel free to stick around and leave questions or comments. We'll be here to answer anything. Until we see each other again, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay hydrated and namaste. I am going to stick around for the questions that might be around.